You know, what used to be pure science fiction, that's now literally the top story on the news. From the battlefield to the factory floor, there's this AI-driven revolution happening with robotics, and it is moving at an absolutely blistering pace. So let's break down exactly what's going on.
We're going to start with the most dramatic development, and honestly, the most kind of terrifying: autonomous war machines. These things are being designed to hunt and fight with a level of coordination that is just, well, it's chilling.
Then we're going to shift gears and look at the economy. We'll see how these advanced humanoid robots aren't just lab prototypes anymore. No, they're being actively tested to take on really complex jobs in some of our biggest industries.
And finally, we're going to pull back the curtain on the absolutely colossal ambitions of the tech giants, the ones building the brains behind it all. We're talking hundreds of billions of dollars being poured into creating a whole new kind of intelligence. All right, so let's get into it. Seriously, forget what you think you know about robots. This is the new reality, and it is all unfolding way faster than anyone predicted. And we're going to start with a pretty startling new vision for ground warfare. So China has just officially revealed its plan for the future of combat, and it looks like something ripped straight out of a movie. An autonomous wolf pack made of robot dogs and drones, designed to think and hunt like a single unified organism. And here's the thing you've got to understand. This is the crucial point. We are not just talking about fancy remote-controlled drums. The whole idea is built around a shared intelligence where these machines coordinate their moves by themselves without a human constantly telling them what to do.
Now, what's really fascinating here is how this pack is actually organized. Every machine has a super specialized job. You've got Shadow, acting as the eyes and ears, feeding back real-time intel. Polar is the pack mule, basically hauling ammo and supplies. And then, well, then you have Bloody, which is pretty much a walking arsenal, just armed to the teeth.
The system that makes this all work? It's just wild. It's called ATLS, and it lets a swarm of up to 96 of these things, drones, robot dogs, you name it, understand what the others are planning to do and coordinate an attack, even if GPS is jammed or they lose all radio signals. Meanwhile, over in Europe, they're taking a totally different approach, and it's much more public. Instead of some polished reveal, they're running one of the toughest real-world field tests for military robots you can imagine. They're just dropping them into mud, throwing them at rough terrain, and creating unpredictable situations to see what actually works and what breaks under pressure. Now you might be thinking, okay, that's military tech. But here's the thing. The technology that powers these war machines, it is not staying on the battlefield. Those same ideas about autonomous coordination are sparking this new wave of automation in the workforce that's just way more sophisticated than anything we have ever seen before. Yeah, one of the biggest leaps forward is something called an AI agent. These are AI programs that can directly control physical robots. Just imagine a corporate AI that doesn't just, schedule your meetings. You can give it a high-level command like, hey, organize this entire section of the warehouse, and it will then autonomously command a fleet of robots to physically get it done.
And this right here, this perfectly illustrates the tension we're seeing everywhere. Publicly, a company like Amazon will talk all about assistance and safety. They'll show off these friendly-looking robots like Sprout. But internally, leaked documents paint a very different picture, suggesting a long-term goal of replacing a massive number of future jobs. And believe me, this isn't just a one-off experiment. Major companies like BMW are basically window shopping for humanoids right now, testing out different models for real factory jobs. Their new robot, AE, is built for precision assembly. It moves faster than most walking robots, and it even swaps its own batteries. These kinds of features, which seem like science fiction just a year ago, are quickly becoming the new standard. So you have the hardware, you have the robot bodies, but who's actually building the massive intelligence you need to run all of this? The hardware is impressive, for sure, but the real race is to create the powerful AI brains that can make these robots truly autonomous.
Well, it's a race, and the tech billionaires are pouring just staggering amounts of cash into it. But here's the catch. They're chasing two completely different visions for what the future of AI should even look like.
So on one hand, you've got Zuckerberg. His plan, it's not just about giving you a helpful assistant. No. The real goal is to build a superintelligence that can create hyper-personalized ads by basically building a digital twin of you, an AI that predicts your moods and your interests in real time just to perfectly shape your social feed. And that just brings up this massive question for all of us, right? Is this the ultimate convenience, having everything you see online perfectly curated just for you? Or is it basically the end of privacy as we know it, traded away for a slightly better feed?
Then you have Musk, and his plan could not be more different. He's not focused on your data, he's focused on the hardware. He wants to end this global dependence we have on just a handful of chip suppliers by building what he calls a chip fortress down in Texas. This is vertical integration on a scale nobody in the industry has ever really tried before, controlling everything from the raw silicon to the finished chip all under one roof.
And look, while that chip factory is still just a plan on paper, if you look at what Tesla's doing with its Optimus robot, you can see a really clear and urgent shift happening. The prototype phase, that seems to be over. The company just opened a flood of job listings specifically for the Optimus production line, with rumors that their factory in Shanghai could become a hub for mass production. They are really moving from demos to manufacturing.
Okay, so the tech giants are busy building these massive AI brains. But what about the robot bodies themselves? Well, here's the crucial part. While the AI is getting smarter, the physical abilities of these robots, they're just exploding. The rate of improvement has become shockingly fast.
Get this. Scientists in China just showed off this huge breakthrough in how robots learn. They taught a humanoid to play a pretty decent game of tennis, but not by feeding it tons of data of human players. Instead, they just let it experiment and teach itself inside a simulator. It went from knowing nothing to being a competent training partner in just 5 hours.
And that rapid learning? This is what it looks like in the real world. Unitree's H1 humanoid just got clocked in a sprint test, hitting 10 meters per second. To put that in perspective, that is dangerously close to the average speed of Usain Bolt's world record. Humanoids are getting seriously fast.
And they're not staying in the lab either. We're starting to see them out in the wild, in these totally uncontrolled public spaces. One was recently spotted in a parking lot over in Poland, just jogging around trying to herd a bunch of wild boars back into a forest. I know, it's a little bizarre, but it proves these machines are starting to operate out in the chaos of the real world.
So yeah, the pace of all of this, it's getting really, really serious. And it just leaves us with one final critical thought. Think about it. A few years ago, a robot that could simply walk was a huge headline. Today, they're sprinting and getting ready for mass production. The question isn't if these robots will change our world anymore. The real question is how profoundly they will and just how soon.